1 second that changed in UK-based Nigerian family's life forever. This is a very interesting and sad story. Hopefully, someone will learn a lesson from this story. This story revolves around a Nigerian who lives in the UK, who goes by the name Osare T Oronsaye. He's married to Bebo, and they both live in Kent in the southeast of England. Osare T has a flat in Kent. He had a problem with the ensuite and the bathroom in his house. He then contacted his insurance, who told him, look for someone to do the job, we will reimburse you. And the first thing that came to Osare T's mind is the handyman, who has done a lot of work for him. He trusted this handyman. He reached out to this handyman. He said, you know what? I want you to come and do some work for me. And they agreed the price. The handyman then said, look, give me the money, you trust me, and buy the material, consider the job done. And Osare T obliged based on past history and dealings with this man. After some time, the man stopped picking Osare T's call. Osare T did everything to make sure he gets his money back. This guy did disappear. And Osare T did what most responsible people would do. He reached out to the small claim court and said, you know what? This man owes me money. When he went to small claim court, the court then contacted this man, said, you have a case to answer on the 4th of July. When the guy received notification from the court, he came up with his own plan. And what you are about to find out, it will shock you. If you see any value in this content, you can support this channel by giving this video a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. On the 5th of July, this guy who goes by the name Choba, he went to Osare T's house around 2:15. CCTV shows that the guy came with a bag. He was covered with balaclava and he was wearing faceless gloves to protect himself. Upon arrival at the house, he went to Osare T's flat. He knocked. Because Osare T is already familiar with this guy, he's somebody that they've did a transaction together in the flat. He opened the door thinking that this guy is coming to pay me my money, because the guy must have been going to Osare T's flat before. However, while the two of them was there, the guy was only there for 30 minutes. He left around 2:45. CCTV captured Choba leaving the house. He was wearing different clothes, no more gloves, no more face covering. He cycled out of the house and he left. He went to Slingry train station, and from there he boarded a train to Woolwich Arsenal, and his data, which was captured on his mobile phone, shows that this guy went home and he relaxed. Around 6 p.m., Osare T's wife, a woman, came to the house. She opened the door and she saw that the man was cooking, and the man's face was facing the duvet. She thought initially that he was sleeping. However, she later noticed that he was soaked in blood. That was when the woman shouted, help, help. The neighbor rushed to the scene. The neighbor is a qualified nurse. As soon as the neighbor came to the scene, the neighbor tried to give Osare T CPR and called the emergency services straight away. When the emergency services came, they tried to do everything to save Osare T's life. Sadly, this man died instantly because of only 2,150 pounds. You're going to find out the case is going to get more interesting. When Osare T died, the police came to the scene. They told the wife that the initial assessment shows that it was suicide. The wife said, no, I know my husband. He will never commit suicide. No. The police then said, okay, we are not saying this is definitely what has happened. This is an initial hypothesis that we form. Once the postmortem is done, we will know the cause of death. On the 15th of July, postmortem came out. It shows that Osare T had multiple assault. Therefore, suicide was ruled out. The police knew at that stage that this was a murder case that they were dealing with. As soon as they saw that, they knew straight away that this is murder that we are dealing with. This is not suicide at all, right? That was when the police then realized later that scissors was used to strike Osare T, likely from the neck. Cables were used to tighten around his neck, manual strangulation sign, and also there was injury on his head. Now, the following day, was all this was going on, the period that the police were waiting for the postmortem to come out, they noticed something very strange. Osare T ATM card has been withdrawn, and the person that even withdrew money had the audacity to use Osare T card to buy a bouquet of flower for his girlfriend or wife. The dead man's card was used to buy flower. What does that tell you about human being? And also travel card to travel in London. It did not end there. They also noticed that when they arrested Chobra, he had done a search, a Google search on his phone, which says dead man in Darfur. He was checking if there is any news about a dead man in Darfur. When he waited and there was no news, he then assumed that yes, nobody's going to suspect him. And that was when he started using Osare T's bank card to withdraw money and spending the money. You'll be shocked when you find out what happened when on the 17th, Chobra was arrested back in East London. He was charged with murder and robbery. However, the police also found phone, bank card, and keys and things that are linked to Osare T. There was also blood stain linked to the balaclava that he had. Finger gloves was fine. Rucksack with court papers, which shows that he received the document from the court when Osare T went to the small claim court. Those were also found as well. When Chobra was interviewed, he said no comment, no comment. When the case went to court, Chobra's defense team said, yes, the man went to see Osare T on that fateful day, and he admitted that he was the last person that saw Osare T. However, he approached Osare T and they were having a discussion. Osare T tried to make sexual advances or proposition towards him. As soon as Osare T did that, he rejected it, and that is why he then pushed Osare T, and Osare T fell. He left the house and he went. That is what they are doing. But Osare T's legal team has dismissed that. They are seeing that as a strategy to try to get mass slaughter instead of murder, which is still going on in court. As I speak to you today, this case is going to take 3 weeks before we know the outcome of this case. But the saddest part of this story is that a hard-working man who left Nigeria in search of a better life will never live to see his grandchildren, will never live to do the things that most of us dream of. He was killed in his house, a place that is supposed to be a place of safety, because of his hard-earned £2,150. That is what the guy was killed for. And the saddest part is that the man died in his own bedroom. What is your view about this case? Do you think that, yes, Bebo Osare T should not have allowed this man in? I would like to know what your views are in the comment section. Do you have any sympathy or anything to say to Osare T? And don't forget, there's a woman who is grieving the loss of her love, the love of her life. Osare T has gone. On behalf of everyone, we say rest in peace, and this is the source of the story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You are doing so by supporting us. God bless you.